Hi everyone, my name is Greg Serebuoh. I was musical director of Shades from 2004 to 2005, and I'm going to be singing the tenor part of Amen, We Shall Overcome. The song begins with the basses singing the first Amen, and then the other parts, including the tenors, come in with the second Amen. So I'm going to start right where the tenors come in on that second Amen. 5, 6, 7. Amen. 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 We shall overcome. We shall overcome. We shall overcome someday. We shall overcome. We shall overcome. We shall overcome someday. Oh, deep in my heart, I do believe we shall overcome someday. We shall overcome. We shall overcome. We shall overcome someday. Oh, deep in my heart, I do believe we shall overcome someday. Okay, so some quick notes on Amen, We Shall Overcome. So when the parts first come in, it's very, it enters kind of softly, but full of energy at the same time. So after the basses sing, they're very kind of full. Amen. When everyone comes in, it comes in with this energized but soft. Amen. So the A's of Amen actually add in the diphthong of E, at least as we did it in our time. The E right before the men. So amen. 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 Similarly, in the second section with the we shall, or the third section with the we shall overcomes, there's an O. So we shall overcome. We shall overcome. Thing to note is that on the amens, we hold the note on the n sound. So amen. And when we get to the we shall overcomes, we hold the notes on the so we shall overcome. Then when we get to the kind of next section, we shall overcome. We shall overcome. Yeah. And then we get to that note. We shall overcome. So this note has had many iterations and many ways of performing it. So I want to honor that. The way that we sang it when we were in the group, and at least for many years before that, was that note was held for a full beat. I think that has since changed, but I sang it that way because that is how I sang it. And I just want to make the point that when I was in the group, that note, we used to call it the note. It is one of the aspects of Amen We Shall Overcome that personally I like most connect with, because the way that chord comes in and the sound of that chord and the way it kind of shifts the tonality temporarily of the song, it always struck me as so powerful, and I felt so powerful with the group singing that note. So being able to hold it out was like a key part of that experience for me. And when I was rushing the group, even people that didn't end up joining Shades or getting into Shades, we would all talk about, oh, that note. That note. I remember one guy said that he was like, it gives me sympathetic resonance. And I was like, what is sympathetic resonance? It's like, oh, it's like when you get these chills all through your whole body. And I was like, oh, that happens to me too. Does that happen to everyone? So yes. So for us, being able to hold out that note was a key aspect of it. And actually, I should say, even in the section before that, we shall overcome, we shall overcome, we shall overcome. Full beat. Someday. So yeah, that's how we sang that. But in any case, in that second section, we come in with the we shall overcomes, again, kind of energized, but kind of contained in terms of volume. We shall overcome. And it slowly builds. We shall overcome. Till we get to the high note. Come, as I said, we did it for a beat. Then the sum again comes in with that contained, highly energized someday. And then it's oh, whoa. Something I love about singing in Shades is the ways in which, you know, a lot of choral theory is very much about like having very strict vowels, which we do have very strict vowels, but the vowels are not always quote unquote pure. We will sing on diphthongs, but we will do so in a coordinated fashion so that it works together. Oh, deep. There's a very clear phrasing and rhythm to the ways in which we move between those vowels. In my heart, I do believe. Then we get to the next, the sort of last, we shall overcome. Here we enter immediately, powerfully, and we have a singer singing on top of us. Loudly. So we shall overcome. We come in loudly, but we do want to leave ourselves space to grow, because by the end we want to be at our loudest with that overcome. And then on someday, this second time around, the someday, oh, woe deep in, all of that is to be done in one breath. Whereas before we did someday, breath, oh, woe deep. Here it's someday, oh, deep in my, so your breath comes in after that in. My heart. The rest of that is all the same. Believe, except that the volume again is just up higher. And really just follow the conductor for that. And then the ending. We shall overcome off, some off. Then the conductor will bring you in for this, and you're going to follow the conductor for each move of these notes. Likely, you will need to stagger breathe. I don't know that I've ever done that whole phrase, except when I did it just now, without stagger breathing with other people. So, someday, and then you're going to hold this out while the bass is saying, we shall overcome. So again, stagger breathe. One last thing that I did not say is that one characteristic thing in this song is when we say deep in my heart, the T comes in at a very specific point. So, whoa, whoa, deep in my heart. Like very clearly and definitively on that beat. It like has its own moment. Yeah. Other than that, I mean, this song is really so much about the way that you feel it, the way that you connect with it, and the way that you connect with each other. So a lot of that just comes from the experience of creating, the experience of this song with other people. But those are the things that I would point to.